getting your shoes off.
I know. I quite like to be with new shoes on in here.
I might take off my shoes as well. Get on wiki feet.
So I got the door open.
Do you want to introduce or shall I?
I can if you want.
Alright.
Are we just recording
Just go
now?
with it,
Just
yeah.
go,
Yeah, it's already. Oh, I don't think I have actually pressed record. Oh no, yeah, it does. The moment you join, it's recording. Let me double check that.
Yeah, double check.
Right, now there's a 5-second timer.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Good job to check that then, wasn't it? Probably been about 5 seconds, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Hello and welcome to the...
I'm keeping all of that.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the No Format Required podcast / video cat. Is that a video cast a thing?
Yeah, podcast, video, isn't it?
Yeah, pod video cast. Yeah, with me as always is Michael.
Me, voila, here I am. We've been not here for a while.
No.
And I don't know when this episode's going to get released, to be fair.
No.
So we might want to get a bit of a bulk,
Yeah.
get a backlog going so that we can release quite a few episodes in a go.
How long has it been since we did
A long time.
episode? It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
A few months.
At least, I reckon, yeah, I was going to say at least a month, if not more.
Yeah, I think it's been
Yeah.
more than that, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
But just been busy. We've just been busy, haven't we?
Life and that shit.
What have you been up to in the past month? I've not seen you.
What have I been up to? Not a lot.
But
But
last time I saw you, we'd been to the
Sausage and
Sausage
Cider
Cider
Festival.
and that was about a month ago, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I don't know. We wouldn't have recorded an episode about that, but yeah, we obviously did it last year. Wasn't that impressed this year.
No.
It's not a vibe anymore.
And then it was kind of ruined when I got a phone call or a missed call from Mum and Dad because our alarm was going off.
And it was all fine.
Yeah,
but
and it was a spider, I think, that had got on it. Oh, I forgot to tell you, it did it again.
You did tell me. I came over, I think. I can't remember why.
Maybe it was to record a podcast.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was it.
Oh no, for the football.
yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that was one. I didn't think it was that. I've seen that one. Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah. So I mean, what else have we been up to?
I've organised a massive charity raffle for my work.
Oh, okay. What are the prizes?
All sorts of things, from 2 tickets to any game at Trent Bridge cricket next season.
Oh, okay.
6 people, 3-course meal and entertainment at Bistro Live. Rum Distillery tour
Where's that?
in Worksop.
Oh, okay.
Can't remember what it's called now, the distillery, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite a lot of big prizes. I toted it up so far, and we've been donated very, very generously £1,300 worth of prizes.
Wow.
So
That's not bad. How much is a ticket?
I'm going to do 5 for £1.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. Well, I might partake in that.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it at the end of the day.
What's the charity?
It's NUH Nottingham Charities.
Oh, is
NUH,
it?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Very
all
nice.
sorts of things within the hospital.
How come we decided to do that?
It's part of a wellbeing week that I've tried to organise at work. So like to help improve morale and everything, and ultimately at the end of the day as well help improve patient care, because if staff are happy, then it's going to impact the other end too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've organised a wellbeing week. So like one day there's going to be a bake-off contest in which people can bake, and then if their cakes are eaten, people then pay how much they think it's worth, and the person who's raised the most money at the end of it gets 75% of their winnings plus 25% of everyone else's.
Oh, okay.
And then everyone who partakes get 50% of their pot anyway, so everyone wins something. And then the rest, the 25 of everyone else's, of everyone's pot, will go to charity.
Oh, very nice.
So that's one event. Then it's going to culminate in a picnic at Wimboldon Park on, I won't say the date because I don't really want those people turning up, but yes.
Yeah, okay.
So,
So, is it like a family one or?
Yeah,
like,
that's the idea. Like, people can bring family if they want, they don't have to. So yeah.
Oh, very good.
And that's where we'll do the raffle prizes and stuff.
Yeah.
Do stuff like a step Olympics as well, where during the week people compete to do the most steps.
Okay. That's a good idea, actually. Might do something like that at my work. We have a wellbeing person at work, but they just tend to like share information, that just forward your emails on. That's about it.
That's what all it is. But like actually actively doing something that's going to help improve morale, hopefully. Then yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've organised all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. I've just been watching either football or Game of Thrones. That's literally what I've been watching for the past like 3 weeks.
Nice.
I probably watched more football in the past 3 weeks than I have in the past couple of years since the last.
Really?
Yeah, every game that I've been. It was a point where I was like watching in the group stage for the Euros. I was watching the 2:00. Then you'd have like an hour or so break, then watch the 5:00 and then the 8:00, and it was just like going through everyone, watching them.
I plan to watch a load this year, but I've just not had the time.
No. Well, I was getting to the point where I was like, I was on my day off and I came in here to watch one of them just so I felt like I was watching it somewhere else instead of just been in my living room for like.
Change your pace.
Yeah.
Well, the next England game, annoyingly, well, this episode won't be out by then, but the one on what day?
It'll be on Saturday.
Yeah, but date-wise, 5th?
Oh.
No. It's 5th today, isn't it?
No, it's the 4th today, isn't it?
I've lost track of days. So it'll be the 7th.
Yeah, in Switzerland.
Yeah. So, I'm working for it, annoyingly.
Oh, well, yeah.
So I might set up a little TV at work to watch it.
We watched it. We watched the last one at work. I mean, my shifts have fallen quite well for me. Apart from the last one, I've been off for all the group games.
I think this is the only one that I'm going to be like properly working for.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I think I'm actually on till, because it's 5:00 and I'm on till 5, but I'm hoping to kind of get into work a bit early and finish a bit earlier. So.
When's the final?
A week on Sunday.
Yes, I am off then.
You're off that one.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of maybe doing something for it if England are to get through, but I don't know because I'm back at work on the Monday.
It's a big if, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a big if. There's still
we might see that egg in our face when this episode gets released, but it's not been the best surprise.
No.
We were lucky.
Yeah,
lucky.
Yeah. Well, we were watching it at work and I'd coming towards the end and I was like, I can't. That 80th minute, I was like, I can't watch this shit anymore. So I walked out. And then I was like pacing around the office, and I was like, "Oh no, I'll go back in." And I sort of stood in the kitchen with one of my other colleagues, and then obviously they scored, and obviously they went to extra time. And like, right, we couldn't. We're like, right, we've got to stay exactly where we are now. We can't move. And I remember braving my colleague Stu before, and when we got knocked out of the World Cup, we all had a takeaway and he didn't. So I said, well, that's why.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, that's why we.
Well, I was livid at George. I watched the whole game and he was really enjoying it. He was getting into it too. At one point, it was hilarious. At one point, we took a corner that amounted to nothing. And George literally turns to me and goes, rubbish. And I was like, yes, George. So yeah, he was really getting into it. And then like, he got to again.
Yeah.
Losing hope. We was about to lose and everything. I can say, oh, we've lost now, George. It's over. And he went to his. Have you heard of the Tony Box, or are you aware of it? It's like a audiobook for kids.
Oh, okay.
So little characters that they put on top of this box, and it reads.
Lauren bought some for George's birthday, I think. Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good. To be fair, that he decides to put on Zog, and the rule is obviously when you're listening to it, you turn off the TV.
Yeah.
That rule applies to him, not me. So he put Zog on. Took the remote and turned off the TV.
Oh, really?
I turned on the TV and we'd score. And I was like, for God's sake. And like, we'd had a bit of a to do. So I didn't show any replays. I didn't like see the goal.
Yeah.
I was like, and then it got so extra time. I was like, okay, you go to bed, very quick bedtime because I want to get downstairs and watch the extra time. Yeah. Did as quick a bedtime as I could, came down, and it was Harry Kane who scored. So
yeah, it was like really.
I don't even know what time. Didn't see any replays of it again. I was like, for God's sake! So I missed both of the goals.
Yeah, they scored right at the end of the 90 minutes, and then like really quickly into the second, into the extra time.
I was livid.
So yeah, but
well, at least it didn't go to penalties. But
no, I was glad about that. I was like, I couldn't. Well, at the end of it, we finished it, and I was like thinking, I've got to go through all this again now, and. Like, you know, if you're winning 2-3-0 or whatever, it's an enjoyable match. But when you're like scraping,
it was like, torture.
Yeah, it's just not
absolute torture.
It's just not enjoyable at all. Like, it's just really, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what happens on Saturday. But yeah. But no, I've restarted Game of Thrones again. So I think I'm on the 5th series now.
Oh yeah.
Quite binge.
That's what I started watching.
What, from the 5th? Did you?
Yeah.
It's quite good rewatching it again because you're not waiting every week for an episode, and you're not waiting for another year for the series to come out, and you can kind of things are still fresh in your memory, so you don't forget things. So yeah, I'm enjoying that, and then I've still got the second series of House of Dragon to watch. Have you watched any of that?
No. Lauren can't. Well, I think she would get into it, but she's not interested because I was never into Game of Thrones really. We just not watched that. We have found, we've finished it all. It's only 2 seasons, 6 episodes, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, 20 minutes because it's Channel 4. One of the most well-written shows I've ever watched in my life. It's called Big Boys. and it's written by this guy called Jack Rook, who is like a semi-autobiographical show about, basically, in the show, like, it's not spoilers because it happens in like the first 5 minutes. His dad dies very early on of cancer, or so, I think it's pretty sure it's cancer, when he's like 17 years old. And then the next year he's meant to be going to uni, and he has a bit of a breakdown, like relapse, and gets upset. So he defers a year and goes when he's 19 years old. Gets there, it's sort of set in Hertfordshire as well, which is where I'm from.
Yeah.
Gets to uni and isn't in like the halls where all the fun is and everything. There was doing some work in the room. So basically, he gets put into this like shed, they call it, which is like an ex lecture hall area.
Okay, yeah.
So they're put in there, and the other guy he's in there with is like this 25-year-old guy who's like a mature student, but wants to go out, really have fun and stuff. And oh my god, the show is just so well written. The main character, Jack's gay, but he never came out to his parents.
Oh, okay. Well, just the one that's dad started?
Yeah. And always felt like he would be doing his mum a disservice because he never told his dad, and they always wanted a kid, or grandkid, should I say.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely hysterical. Like, I mean, crying your eyes out with laughter, but then next minute crying yourself with tears because it's so emotional. It's so well written.
Okay.
What I like about it is it does appear as though, so where the narrator is Jack Rook, the real Jack Rook, so he's narrating the show, and he refers to the mature guy Danny as you, and that's what he just calls him, you. And I've read afterwards he's like an amalgamation of 4 of his friends. So I feel like he's talking directly to this character and like the people when he's like talking about them. It's just so well written. I really recommend it. First series on Netflix, and series 1 and 2 are on Channel 4.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give it a go.
I really, really recommend it to everyone. Like Lauren, who doesn't watch TV, became obsessed with it and was recommending it to everyone. So
okay. I'll add it to the many other things.
Yes.
That we're,
yeah, exactly.
Watching.
Constant recommendations on this show and to each other, but yeah.
I know, because there's... Well, at the minute we're watching Broadwalk Empire. Lauren's not seen it before. I've not watched it probably since it came out. And then we're like... Homeland, Boys.
Oh, I still haven't watched series 3.
What, the one before?
Yeah. Well, I started it. What happens? Spoilers to anyone who's not watched it and plans to watch it. I'm about to spoil it. Is it like episode 1 where there's that really disturbing sex scene where a guy shrinks down and is basically inside the shaft of a penis and then accidentally expands and kills a guy? Yeah. Lauren walked in with George the moment I was watching that.
Oh, really?
You try explaining it. Even if you say yes, it's the boy that's like really it's disturbing and then I obviously turned it off because George was there. And I just haven't gone back to it. Not for any reason. I really love the show. It's great.
It's I mean, to be honest, it's been quite a while since the last series, so it's one of the ones that probably have to watch the previous series. But I've read this series apparently got quite bad reviews. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why.
See, that's my issue, and I think I think I've talked recently about this on the podcast where I don't watch the end of shows if I really enjoy them. Like, it took me ages to watch. Because it's like if I don't finish it, the show will never end. I feel it's the same with shows that the first series are, because normally first series, like, they take a bit of time to get onto their feet. Like, if you think about The Office and Parks and Recs, absolutely loved them, but the first series are absolutely awful. But if a show is like so good from the start, I tend not to go. It's almost like I don't want to ruin it. Like, I did this with The Witcher, which I've heard was actually probably the best move I made, because it went downhill from that. But I absolutely loved season 1, but then just never went back to it for some reason.
See, I mean, obviously you read reviews or whatever, but I think everyone's got their own personal opinion on shows anyway. Like the shows that you like that I probably won't like, and vice versa. So just because somebody else says that they don't like it, well, that's, you know what I mean?
No, I agree. And it's not reviews that, because I know there is a show on Amazon called Invincible. I don't know, there's a show. Season 2 is again as good as season 1. Season 1 was probably one of the best animated shows I've watched in my life, and I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. It's like taken The Boys to another level.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
It's done by Robert Kirkman, the comic book, who's the guy who did The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forget that was a comic book, wasn't it?
And
or graphic novel.
The cast is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's got Stephen Yeun, who played Glenn.
Oh yeah.
Walking Dead. I don't know why I'm saying like this. It's going to look really awkward. Uncomfortable. Stephen Yeun, who plays Glenn. It's got J.K. Simmons.
Oh yeah.
Sandra Oh. Seth Rogen, Jason Mantzoukas, like all sorts of mass. Like if you read the cast list, you're like, Jesus Christ, this is insane. And it's about a guy who his dad is basically Superman. So if you try and imagine it like that. So his dad's like Superman, who comes to Earth and falls in love with Lois Lane, and they have a kid together. So the kid's obviously half alien.
Yeah.
And they're just waiting for his powers to come in. And they eventually, like in the first episode, his powers suddenly arrive, and it's like this kid just basically comes to terms with his power and want to be a superhero, just like his dad and everything. I don't want to go too much into it because it's really hard to sell it, but you watch the whole episode, and you're like, the first episode, you're like, that was like a generic type superhero show, nothing too out there park on it. And then like the credits roll, and then an end credit sequence happens, and it's just phenomenal. What they do is just next level, and you don't see it coming. No one would ever see it coming, I don't think. And it just flips the whole genre on its head, and it's stylized so well, like proper like the old X-Men style animation that there was years ago. Yeah, really recommended. That's another great show. It's not for kids.
No,
certainly not for kids. It's quite graphic. At one point, the kid, who's called Invincible, is literally being rammed through a train, a complete train, killing everyone as he's being rammed through it because he's invincible, so he's able to go through this train. Yeah. But
everyone else isn't.
And he's literally blood and everything all over.
Yeah, it just sounds
destroying
them. Just sound like The Boys, doesn't it?
Exactly, but it does it to another level and better. Yeah. Okay. It's not about, like, The Boys is about the human side of the Justice League.
And the fact that, in The Boys it's more like that the superheroes are bad, aren't they? Yeah. Whether, obviously other films, superheroes are good. That's what I do like about it. Yeah. And obviously the very dark humour.
They're uncontrolled sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. But, okay.
No, Invincible, I highly recommend. Like I say, I think what you'd do is you'd watch the first episode. It's only half an hour, the first episode. I'd recommend it to anyone to watch the first episode and don't give up because it's just a bit meh to begin with. Yeah. Watch until after the credits, and then after the credits, I say end credit sequence. The end credit sequence is probably about 15 minutes long.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it goes on for a while, but it shows you what you got in store. Oh. And what sort of like
what's happening in the series.
What's going to be the story of the show.
Okay. I watched one of the spin-offs from The Walking Dead, the one that lived, or what?
Is that the one with Andrew Lincoln back?
Yeah. It's not that good. I've watched all of Walking Dead apart from the last series because it was just going on too long, and it's just some of the acting was a bit cheesy and stuff.
That's another show. I watched the first series, which is again a phenomenal series. Yeah. And then I stopped watching it. Yeah, I loved every minute of it. Yeah, I've got all the graphic novels and everything.
Have you? Yeah. Start it again. Well, it'd probably take you best part of a year because it's one of the ones that's like 20 some episodes a series.
Well, the first series there wasn't that many, wasn't there?
No, it might have been 10 or something. But yeah, I want to watch there's another one with Daryl. Somehow manages to get over to France. To be honest, I just want to watch it to know how he gets over to France because, like, it's obviously the end of the world, isn't it? So there's no. Well, obviously it must be a ship or a plane or something. But
Eurostar not running still.
Well, yeah.
But it was meant to be him and Carol. It's Carol who he's with, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, he's not with her. It's like
their partnership.
Yeah. They're like, yeah.
Yeah, it was meant to be the two of them together, but I think she dropped out last minute.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how it's. I mean, I say that I've not watched the last series, so
there's so many though. There's also the Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah. Again, I think I might have watched an episode of that and thought it's just exactly like Walking Dead. Yeah. Like, it's one of them shows that's like starting to flog a dead horse with it. Really, like it's just too much. It annoys me with that. I mean, I was watching a thing where I've been reading a lot of things about the Office reboot, and they're interviewing Steve Carell randomly. He was at Wimbledon. And they were saying, I started talking about it, and he was saying, "Oh, is there any chance of you coming back and bringing?" He's like, "Well, no." He says, "That's like my story's done kind of thing. Like it's a new thing. Yeah, I don't know if he was like massively. I don't know. He didn't seem massively keen on the idea.
I can't think what his name is. Gleeson. What's his first name?
Glenn.
No, the guy.
Oh, it's I think he's
not Donald Gleeson.
It's his
son.
Yeah, he's in the new Star Wars films.
Is it Donald Gleeson? Or is that his? I don't know which one's which.
His dad's in Harry Potter.
Yeah, well, so
he's Mad-Eyed Moody. Oh yeah, he is. He's the older,
or Percy.
Yeah, he is one of the older Weasleys. Yeah.
But yeah, he's obviously in it, and apparently he has spoken to Steve Carell. I've read an interview with Steve Carell saying that he did this Gleeson came and spoke to him before he sort of like accepted.
I was very surprised. Is he paying the boss then, I assume?
There's no information given yet.
Because I've never seen him as a comedic actor.
No.
Like, in anything that I've watched. But again, why did they've had The Office, which was really good. Why do you need to redo something?
Exactly.
I'm finding a lot of this now with films and TV shows. Like, there obviously are ones that are unique and it's the first time, but a lot of them are just remakes or
they're rehashing
books.
Old series. Or
Yeah, it's like, well, can't you just think of something new? Because they used to do that.
That's what we should do, Charlie. We should come
up
with our own TV show on this podcast. An idea, write it. This will be our pitch. We'll just send these to BBC, ITV, and everyone.
Send it to Netflix.
Fuck it. Yeah, let's go higher. We'll send it to Fox and Disney.
Well, apparently Netflix have bought like all the rights to loads of books in case they ever become
they've basically brought like the Roald Dahl estate. I know that much.
Oh, have they?
They're doing the Twits, which did you read the Twits?
When I was younger, yeah, I can't remember.
It's like one of them's short, one of them's tall, aren't they? And they they're playing not pranks on each other, but they're like trying to get at each other, aren't they? To like break it. I can't massively remember it, but it does. Like when I saw the little they did a little promo of it in an advert recently, it just didn't look like the Twits that I remember from my childhood.
Okay.
Not that I remember a huge amount of it, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually they've not really done. I mean, they've done a few of his Roald Dahl like films, but like sort of the TV series. Did you watch the series? I know it's not Roald Dahl, but a series of Unfortunate Events.
I again watched series 1.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it.
Yeah, never watched
Failed
it.
to continue.
We watched series 1 and then I think sort of series 2 and then got bored of it, kind of thing. But
there was only 3 series as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I remember getting into it because, well, you know, Tomo, he was really massively into the books, and then when we go on holiday to Florida, we'd always buy him one because obviously it was out before you could get it over there.
I really enjoyed them. I'd never finished the series because I think I outgrew it, sort of thing, age-wise. But yeah, I enjoyed them.
It was a good. So there's so much. You know, if you had so much time, like there's all these series you could watch and and that's the thing. Sometimes I kind of get. I don't know what to watch, so I end up re-watching stuff.
Yeah, we share an LTV account, and it's just full of Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah. Well, what we put Only Fools and Horses on, you know, like if, for example, we're having dinner and potentially most of the time this past couple of weeks it's because the football's been on, so it's like we don't want to commit to watching something that's an hour long because we like to kind of, when we watch it, we'll want to watch the whole episode and you're watching half an hour, so it's like, we'll just put Only Fools and Horses on because it's just dead easy to watch, so we just kind of slip, but then sometimes we don't end up finishing the episode, so it's like 3/4. I think at the minute I must be 10 or 11 episodes that I've not even finished watching yet. I'm just like 3/4 of the way through, and I think, well, there's no point watching something for 10 minutes. I might as well just start another episode, and then there's lots of Only Fools. It's a shame you couldn't have your own account on it.
Yeah, it is a shame, but it doesn't really make any difference, does it?
No, but it is good. I'm annoyed because I think it's the end of the month. End of the year. I've got my Virgin package coming up for renewal, and I thought I'm just going to keep the internet and get rid of the set-top box and just use my aerial cable. But when we did our living room up, I'd fucking chopped the aerial cable off to shove it back into the wall. So I'm like, otherwise I'm not going to have any telly downstairs.
You can these days do internet streaming of
Can you?
Yeah, our one's got it. We can with our one it's aerial or internet.
We'll have to
so look into it.
Yeah, because I know you can get, obviously, they have their own, ours is a Samsung, you've got Samsung TV channels, it's a load of shit, but you ain't got, just for the, and that's the thing, we hardly watch any terrestrial channels. Occasionally, obviously with the Euros, we've been watching a lot more because of the football and everything, but I can get everything on, Now TV or Netflix or whatever kind of thing, so, I'll have to have a look into it, but...
Yeah.
Because I was debating getting a little aerial for the telly to put in here. Because annoyingly, I can watch on the telly that I've got in the pub shed. I didn't spend massive. What was it? High Sense, I think.
Oh yeah.
I want a fancy one, but you can watch BBC iPlayer live through the iPlayer, but ITV you can't watch for some reason. You can't watch it through the app. Only on if you got it on your phone or something. I think you can, or some certain tellies and things, but not this one. So obviously when the football's been on, I don't know if it's on ITV or BBC. They switch, don't they, for the England matches?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
So, but I mean, obviously I've got my.
That's a good point. Yeah, what am I going to watch on? Work that out.
I think you're all right for your phones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough.
So.
Well, speaking of streaming services, what did you think of all those Dropout TV things they're sending you?
I watched one.
Which one did you watch?
The only part of one, where the Whose Line Is It Anyway one, where they stood up and they're sort of having to say stuff.
Yeah.
Like you got the presenter and there's the 3 contestants and they're saying.
So did you watch the episode? Or just that clip that I sent you?
That clip.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
So well done though.
Yeah.
So for those, I've harped on about it on the podcast, but Dropout.tv is just a next level streaming service in my opinion. Like, it's just joyous to watch. Like, you get to know the cast after a while because they sort of rotate doing various projects within it. But yeah, that one I sent you was a show called Make Some Noise, which is effectively Whose Line Is It Anyway. They give them prompts on a screen to do it, and the first round is they do it individually, and then they do it in twos, and then it's all 3 of them together doing them. What was the prompt? It was something like,
well, one of them says something. I can't remember what it is, and the other one then says something else, but the presenter was about to say what they were going to say, if that makes sense. So it was something with a nurse or something, and one of them says something about a nurse or something, and he's like, "Oh, that's what I was about to say." That they obviously did not realise. I can't remember exactly what they were. I don't think they said nurse. I'm just thinking. It was like a little clip.
The one I thought I sent to you was no. Did you?
I can't even get my phone to.
No, the one you watched was the musical one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that was slightly different.
But they didn't start singing straight away. It was like they got into it.
So that was they spun that one off into a TV show called Play It By Ear.
Oh, okay.
And again, what that one is it's just their musical improv. I'll go back to the previous Make Some Noise in a minute, but their musical so they improvise a musical without knowing what it is.
Yeah.
So the guy, the host Sam Reich, he basically was given prompts like reading the story, and then they started acting out a story. So they didn't know. All I think really the prompts he gave them was, this is a place called Mountport, where there's a mountain on the harbour side, sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
And they just make up a whole musical song about it, and it goes on it's about this woman who's trying to build a massive apartment block to block out the baseball pitch, so this woman can't play baseball there. Like, the story just goes on. But the songs are absolutely incredible. And it's not just them singing the songs; it's the guy on the piano doing a music alongside it. It's all completely insane. But
it was funny. I mean, it's no. I mean, compared to Whose Line Is It Anyway, I do.
Well, Whose Line Is It Anyway? The version of that is that they do is that make that noise, noise, in which I sent you a clip. I don't know if you watched it, but because it was quite long. But the prompt that they got on this clip was a grandson sneaking into his rickety old house and accidentally breaks a vase, so he attempts to start gluing it together while we interchangeably go to a scene with the grandma who's waking up hearing the noise. But the improv to do that was absolutely insane, and what he ends up with.
I do I mean, I say I've only watched the odd clip from what you sent me, but with Whose Line Is It Anyway, with with that sort of talent of being able to just think of things on the spot, and obviously when they do the song and stuff, and just thinking of.
Well, they actually get Wayne Brady on the show.
I do that.
Point of this, the host Sam Wright said, when I grew up, I absolutely loved Whose Line Is It Anyway. That inspired me to do this show, and now you're on this show.
Yeah.
Right.
I forget that it was started. It was a British show, wasn't it? And then went over.
I don't know if it was British first or American first.
It was British because it had Clive Anderson who used to present it, and Colin Mockery and the other guy,
Ryan Stiles.
Yeah, they used to be on it, but it was 90s, and then they went over to America, and Clive Anderson went over and presented a few series of it in America, and then it was Drew Carey, and then
most recently Aisha Tyler.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Colin Mockery and Ryan Stiles, they're my favourite. They are just
they're
hilarious.
Great. They're absolutely genius.
Talking of singing, kind of making up lyrics. Did you watch Coldplay? at Glastonbury.
No, but I'm annoyed I didn't because Michael J. Fox was obviously there.
Yeah. I mean, it's on catch up. I mean, we watched it. Well, it makes no difference. We watched it live, but he does a thing at the end where he just gets a guitar and he says, "Oh, it's something we want to do." What's his name? The lead singer.
Chris Martin.
Yeah. He says, "Oh, it's something we've wanted to do for a while." And basically gets the camera going around and the things on a member of the audience. And there's like first guy's like a guy with a pyramid hat on the pyramid stage, and he's like, "Right, wait a minute, right, I've got something." And he just starts singing like something about that guy.
Oh, really?
And then he goes to another one where there's like 5 lads all like dressed in like Coldplay stuff, and he says something like, "Oh, they've come dressed as Coldplay, or they wanted to come dressed as Coldplay, but they look more like One Direction." And he just goes around really good. And then obviously
I'll have to give it a watch.
What's his name there? Michael J. Fox is there.
Yeah,
so
that's the big reason. What does he play?
He doesn't. He's got a guitar that he's strumming, but
he's
he's
in a wheelchair
not.
now, isn't he?
Yeah, it was good to see him, but sad because he's obviously declined a lot since. I can remember last seeing him, but he was just sort of strumming the guitar. I don't think he was actually playing anything. It was just like kind of like that kind of thing. But yeah, because he was saying something that's what brought Coldplay together or something, was like their love of Back to the Future or something.
Oh, really?
That's why.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, he makes the comment kind of thing. So I know because I heard these rumours that Paul McCartney was coming, and then he kept saying about this special guest. So I was thinking, is it going to be Paul? Are they going to do like a Beatles song or something? And well, yeah, obviously it was Michael J. Fox, but yeah, no, it was good. They were really good. And I know Chris Martin, he's a bit of a twat and a bit cocky and things, but I tell you what, he's an all-round entertainer.
Oh
like,
yeah, well,
best like live show I've ever seen at Glastonbury, probably ever actually in anything.
Well, the reviews I read about Glastonbury this year compared to Download Festival.
Oh yeah.
Just next level because it's going away for at least 2 years now, isn't it?
Yeah, they have a year to let the field grow back, don't
but
they?
they've said they're going to do 2 years.
What do you mean?
So he's not going to be back until 2025 and 2026 and not returning.
Oh, so there's 2 years they're not doing it. Oh, okay. I thought it was just a year or so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wonder if they'll do something else.
Well, somewhere different.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose there's a lot of like they have Reading and Leeds Festival if that still goes and stuff like that. So I mean, I've never been to it. Have you ever been to a festival like that?
Not like that, no.
No. There's one.
Chloe wants to go to Glastonbury one year.
Who does?
Like, Army.
Yeah, I
did try and get tickets a few years back.
How much are tickets?
I can't remember. I didn't think about it. I was just trying.
It puts me up like I remember watching the Coldplay thing and I thought, if you're right at the back, you know what I mean. You're just watching it on the screen like everybody else, aren't you? And then like
if you're right at the front, if you need a piss, then
yeah, exactly. There's no way you're getting back in, is there? So yeah, I don't know. There's a festival called Tomorrowland, which is in I've talked about it before, Belgium, which I'd love to go to.
It's not my kind of music, that.
No, not that sort of music. But they have one in Belgium, and they did one in South America, and they do a winter one in somewhere in the Alps or something. But I suppose with stuff like that, it's just expensive. Once you're in there, you're kind of trapped with the food and drink and.
That's what we found with the sausage inside the festival, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was the fact that you couldn't come out and go back in. I remember. So there was a festival that, God, I think it stopped about 6 years ago now. But Grill Stock. It was a festival in Bristol.
You shared something on Facebook recently.
I miss it.
Yeah.
A festival in Bristol, and it was all about meat, music, and mayhem. That was the slogan. So people doing barbecue cookouts and stuff, music playing, and just fun.
Yeah.
And that was really enjoyable. But what I also liked is you could leave and come back in.
Yeah.
So it was right in the sort of like restaurant quarter.
So you could have something to eat.
So you can go out. Obviously, so we befriended for quite a few years. I can't remember their name now. One of the barbecue groups there. So what happened is like people, teams of about 20 teams would compete in different categories. With like a grand prize of potentially going out to America to compete in their contests in Las Vegas and stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the teams we befriended, and what they used to do is they'd cook stuff like food, and this would always happen, is they'd always cook too much.
Yeah.
So if you're like near the competitors when they're handing their food in, quite often they'd then give it out to the crowd. But this group, we befriended them, so they'd still do that, but they'd also keep some of the best stuff for themselves. So we used to go into their pit area and have some of their food, which was quite cool.
That sounds good.
So yeah.
Do they not do the festival at all now?
No.
Stop doing that.
The actual Grill Stock was a restaurant originally.
Okay.
They went into liquidation, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
# bring it back.
Yeah.
Somehow.
There you go. If you win the lottery,
I'd bring back Grill Stock.
Yeah. Would you still buy that thing in the centre? that old restaurant that's for sale.
Yeah, we'll buy that. I'll turn that into grill stock.
Yeah. The only thing with that is I don't think there's much parking there.
There's no parking at the moment because we've seen they've barried it off and said private parking, which
Oh,
I'm not
have they?
sure they can do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it's that, but...
If you park here, you'll get fined and towed.
We need to do something with the potholes.
Oh, I know.
Have you been to vote?
We were there. We were the second people to vote.
Oh, really?
Very annoying. We could have been the first one, but the two people drove, so they cheated.
Oh, really? What time does it start?
7 o'clock.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. I know, because I was reading the thing, we went down at about 11ish, and there was a thing there. We actually saw our MP, well, our current MP, walk past the house.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously heading to the polling station, but he wasn't there when we got there, kind of thing. But I thought it must be doing the rounds. Strange though, isn't it? Like today you've got a job and then tomorrow you might not, or you don't have a job
Rishi's
now.
very much thinking that, isn't
Well,
he?
yeah, exactly. I know, it'd be interesting. Are you at work tomorrow?
No, I'm going to stay up and watch as much as I can.
Yeah, I was saying that. I was going to watch it. Because I think I was reading a thing about it. I think there's always one in Sunderland and Newcastle that sort of compete, two constituencies,
really?
to do the fastest. I think the records one was like from 11:15. I think
Wow.
they've got the fastest thing.
Well, I am going to Birmingham tomorrow to meet one of my friends, but yeah, I'm going to try and stay up as long as possible. And
Yeah.
I feel like, I'm sorry if there's anyone listening who isn't, I'm not going to say opinions, but it's very obvious what I'm saying. I feel like it's a very pivotal one from my economic point of view, that actually could be very historic and changing how my life is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially with your job. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be a once in a lifetime sort of, not once in a lifetime.
It's not, but yeah, because it's every 4 years.
Yeah, but the change that might happen and the fact of potentially, if Labour got in, which are supposedly our favourites, but the fact that they could really
God, you know what would be hilarious? If we're talking about this and we listen back and somehow like Lib Dem wins.
randomly get in with
or still if the Conservatives win.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pivotal because I think one of the papers has written a standard report today about how the country is now at risk of becoming too left.
Ah, okay.
It's like, but it was previously too right. So.
Yeah. And you've got France that their elections are like soon, I think, or at the weekend, and they're potentially going really far right, aren't they?
Oh, really? I don't know.
Yeah. I think I'm sure. Yeah, because their election days are Saturday. Which
it seems like a better day.
Well, I was thinking
Thursday seems a bit.
Yeah, it's always a Thursday, isn't it? I was thinking, oh yeah, but Saturday most people are off work, so I mean, obviously not those who work shifts, but you think, well, actually that kind of makes more sense. But I suppose the working week, I don't know, but
did they take ages to find your name?
No, they were quite quick.
Well, they've clearly got the hang of it. It was up there, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Pointing up to Charlie so he knows. Obviously, audio podcast, pointing up there. But yeah, she was, because there's not in alphabetical order.
Oh, okay.
So she was getting so confused. I don't understand what order this is meant to be in.
Oh, really?
And the guy next to her was like, buddy, and you'll be just flicking through, finding it people, no time at all. Clearly was.
I think I do. My mum's done it a few times. Working at the.
Oh, really?
She's actually been to. She was actually a couple of. Well, I think it was the last election. She was actually at that one.
Okay.
But yeah, she's done it a few times. And my uncle, he's always does he's like in charge of the polling booth kind of thing. I don't know what's it called.
You like invigilator type person or?
Kind of. Yeah. Was it poll clerk? I think he's the poll
I
clerk.
don't know. Man.
Yeah, he's the one that's in charge of the polling station anyway. But because it's a
The
long.
booths felt very open here.
Yeah, they were just and I was like nod around to see what Lauren was voting. But yeah, I think when I obviously work full time, I can't be asked. It's like a long day until you think 7 till 10.
Yeah.
So what's
that?
that?
I don't know what time they close, but
like 15 hours. Well, it says on the thing it was 10 o'clock, isn't it? But it said but really it's not going to be 10 for you because you've got to shut the place up and potentially some. I don't know if one of them.
I don't know who counts or.
Yeah. I mean that's another job you can do as a counter, but that's like more of it's a night shift, really, isn't it? You're doing it from 10 till throughout the night, but I don't know where. They tend to take them to like schools or somewhere like that, don't they, to count them all.
I was talking about this election. Like, it seems weird that it's the first time we've actually had voter ID.
It is the first time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It feels really weird that this, it's shocking always that
it kind of makes sense though.
Yeah, that's what me and Lauren were saying. It's like, means that I can go, for example, say there's someone, say for example you were supported, well, what's the word? a council team what's the word for them?
What do you mean?
Labour
or political party?
Yeah, political party.
Okay,
that's what I'm thinking of. The team.
I was getting confused what you were meaning.
Political party, that was different to me.
Yeah.
And I completely disagreed with your views. Well, let's say it, like, we're not going to be the Reform Party.
Well, you don't know. No, definitely not. Definitely not Reform Party. I saw on our one actually. There was something Workers' Party or something. I think it's some sort of communist party.
Oh really?
Yeah, there was one because I was looking down the list. I was like, because actually, to be fair, this is the first election I've actually done my research and read up on different.
That's good.
Which I've never done before.
It's important.
But yeah, I was sort of just having a curious look down the list. And I was like, it was like Workers' Party.
I will say that at the hospital, at the bus stop, there's a bin, and on it it says, "Are you a communist? If so, get in touch."
Yeah, there was
or something along those lines.
Where I work, there've been things of the communists. Well, did it have the logo with the sheath and the?
I think so.
Thing?
Yes.
Yeah. There's been there must be somebody going around spray paint.
So anyway, in terms of the ID, I could have been like, no, I'm not letting him vote for that. Yeah. So I'll just go to the polling station and say, "Hi, I'm Charlie." Yeah. And then that's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised, and the people like kicking off about it. It was like, we'll get some ID.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going through life without ID anyway?
Exactly.
Like, I can understand a passport. Like, not everybody.
The people that I could understand and getting frustrated are those who like just turned 17 potentially.
Yeah.
Or 18. When is it? Can you vote?
Yeah, it was 18. Yeah.
And they might not have had anything yet.
I listened to something on the radio last week or earlier on in the week, and there was people like moaning like about the postal votes and stuff. I'm like, oh well, I registered.
Apparently, people haven't received them even yesterday.
Yeah, which I suppose. But why are you leaving it so late? Like my mum and dad do the postal vote. They'd done theirs like a month ago, or even longer. Like why are you leaving it so late? But I mean, unless you're going away or something, I'd go down to the thing. But I suppose everybody's circumstances are different.
Feels weird talking about politics on here. I don't want to get massively into politics.
No.
But also, I love that we're talking about a general election, and potentially when we release this episode, like a new party might have been in for a while.
Might be another election.
Like, everything could have been completely different by the time this episode gets released.
Yeah. Well, we've not named any parties.
We named a few, but
So no, just thought I'd mention it as it's like election day.
Oh yeah.
But
and then people can understand when we're recording this episode.
Yeah, exactly. I know a lot of things going on at the moment.
Well, should we discuss them on the next episode?
Yeah.
Let's leave it there for now.
No, that's it. That was everything. We discussed it. The Euros and the election.
Yeah. Well, Wimbledon as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm not.
You're not into it?
No, not. So somebody at work was going, Wimbledon's so boring. And they're watching the Tour de France. That's like up there with my personal opinion. Like, has been boring. Like
there was people at one of my old works who used to be like, they used to get on the computer and stuff.
Oh, really?
And it's like, really, is it that exciting?
No.
Yeah, no, I do enjoy Wimbledon. One of my friends used to absolutely hate Wimbledon, but only for one reason, because it used to take The Simpsons off BBC Two.
Oh really?
And because of that, he hated tennis. Even if he could have enjoyed it, he refused to like it because they were in The Simpsons.
They don't even have The Simpsons on BBC
they don't, but back in the days, this was like years ago now.
Oh god.
Yeah. Right, with that, we'll leave it, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yep, see you next week.
Ta-ta for now.
Bye-bye.